Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of our La Liga career mode here with Sevilla. Episode 4 today, and we're starting off with some big news. As you can see, Barcelona putting in a huge bid for our star man, Dodi Lukebakio, our highest rated player when we took over Sevilla. And when Barcelona come calling, it is very, very difficult to stand in a player's way. And our first counter offer of 45 million pounds accepted by Hansi Flick, and the Belgian looks as if he could be switching Seville for Barcelona. And as we're simming through, there is the deal. Only took a couple of advances, but Dodi Lukebakio, it's no real surprise that he wanted the move. I don't blame him. He's been okay for us this season, but I don't think he's actually scored from open play. All three of his goals coming from the penalty spot, a few assists as well. But I don't mind that. 45 million for a player that probably wasn't going to get much better. It's a shame to see him go, but I'll take that sum for him. Well, with Dodi Lukebakio heading to Barcelona, I mean, you can't really blame him. It's a huge pay increase up to 120 grand a week and a chance to play with star players. He knows he's probably not going to be a starter there, but potential to win trophies at Barcelona. And after we see that news, we get back to the transfer businesses. Juanlu Sanchez approached by Valencia. Now, he is back up to Carmona at the moment. He's not played as many games as Carmona, and with 4.5 years left on his contract, I don't want to see him go. And with Valencia, the team coming in for him, they're doing okay this year in 10th place, but sat in mid-table. I'm going to offer Sanchez a new deal and keep him at the club. I don't want to see him depart. He's a solid backup. So I'm going to sit down with him and his agent, get rid of that release clause out of the contract. And yeah, I'm going to get him to sign a new short-term deal with the club. He's not going anywhere. So yeah, just a 1-year contract extension for Sanchez, but he's doubled his wages and we've got rid of that release clause. Still happy on a rotation squad role, so I think that's a clever piece of business. But it's been a pretty crazy start to today's episode, but we're going to jump into our first game today, taking on Girona, who have struggled this season. Sat just above the relegation zone in 17th place at the midway stage. And of course, the team that I used for my La Liga career mode last year. So a bit of history with these guys. We beat them in the return fixture at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, but now heading away from home to the Montilivi, looking to complete the double. Vamos Sevilla. Right then, off and underway here at the Montilivi, and it's been a little while since I last played, so feeling a bit rusty, as Nyland makes a pretty comfortable save early on here. But yeah, it's been about 2 weeks since I played because I've been extremely busy. Thankfully, I had some videos pre-recorded, but oh, hello. PK. He's in. PK's in. Brian Hill trying to catch him, not going to, and PK coast to coast. What a season for the Spaniard. And we take the lead from out of nowhere, saved by Nyland down the other, a quick break, and PK through on goal, opens the scoring. Still only leading by 1 here into the second half, not been a very good game. Here comes Ejuke, and Adams looking for his first goal in La Liga this season. Of course, scored in the Copa del Rey loss against Athletic Bilbao, but still yet to notch up in La Liga. Been a really tricky season for him in his first in La Liga, and this is nice football. Ball slid through to Pedrosa, who drills in the second goal, his second of the campaign as well, and that should be the 3 points in the bag. Not a great game, but points secured now. Yep, all over here at the Montilivi. Comfortable win in the end, and we were in control the whole game. Just took us a while to get that second goal, but another 3 points on the board, and we're still in the hunt for that championship. I don't think we're quite good enough to compete with the top 3, and my main objective is just getting in the top 4, but you definitely can't write us off. So we'll jump into our next game, returning back home to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, taking on Espanyol. No transfer developments in between our 2 games, so we're just going to dive straight into the next one, looking for another 3 points. Vamos Sevilla. Well, just getting underway in the second half here. Been a pretty terrible game so far, and we have not tested that Espanyol backline half as much as I would have liked. As oh, that's a good save by Nyland down the other end. And yeah, not been good enough in this opening 45. Going to need to have a much better performance in this second half if we are to pick up the 3 points that we're after. Yeah, we've just lacked a little bit of creativity from midfield today, as Suso does well. And still Suso forward to Romero. There's PK onto the right foot. PK bends it just wide. Oh, Sal does well. PK into Romero. Lifts it for Ajuke. PK's in the middle. Can we pick him out? Yes, we can. And that is a huge save by Garcia. Here we come again with Romero. And PK's ahead of him. He's looked most likely today. Romero. Ajuke. PK's in the middle. And PK wins it for Sevilla. Of course it's him. He's had 3 chances today. The first one narrowly wide, the second one saved, but at the third time of asking, nothing Garcia can do. And Sevilla have their winner late on here at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Wow, man, how clutch has PK been this season? We were crying out for a hero in what was a pretty dull game and a drab performance from Sevilla, but that man coming up clutch, not for the first time this season. Our top scorer and definitely our star player wins it late on here in front of the home crowd. Let's go and dive back into the menus, as we will head into the final few days of the transfer window, where I'm expecting us to bring in a couple of faces. Well, guys, before we head into transfer deadline day, I'm going to bring in a quick signing. We're a bit short in midfield after Sal Niguez and Sambi Lokonga were recalled from their loans. And I'm going to go for this man, Cameron Puertas, currently playing out in Saudi Arabia for Al Qadisiyah, I think it's pronounced, but he was born in Switzerland but is a Spanish international. He has a Spanish citizenship, and I really like the look of his stats. He's an all-rounder from midfield. Physically, he's pretty solid across the board. And technically, he's really, really solid as well. Good passing, great ball control, pretty decent defensively as well. And although he is more of an attacking midfielder, I would say, playing slightly deeper, I think, as a number 8 is a really good position for him, with the option to get forward as well. But he's pretty solid across the board. Bringing him back to Spain, where he does have that citizenship, I think he'd be a really good signing for the squad. So let's go and bring him back from the Saudi Pro League. Yeah, really happy with that signing of Cameron Puertas in his prime at 26 and still growing as well. I think that's a really good bit of business, especially considering we were short in midfield. But we've made it to transfer deadline day. There's 10 hours on the clock. We've still got just shy of 35 million in the bank, and I would like to bring in another wide man as a replacement for Luca Bacchio. We've got the money there, so we may as well spend it. Well, guys, I've already got my replacement for Dodi Luca Bacchio lined up, and that is Yasser Asprilla, currently of Girona. Of course, they having a really poor season just above the relegation zone, as we discussed earlier on in the episode when we faced them. And they've got Viktor Zigankov still on that right-hand side. So Asprilla currently having to share the game time with the Ukrainian. The unfortunate thing is I don't have a full scout report on Asprilla, so it does make the negotiation slightly more risky, because if they walk out of the deal, we can't go back in for him. So we may end up slightly overpaying, but we've got the money in the bank. Let's go and get our man Yasser Asprilla. Yeah, really happy with that signing of Yasser Asprilla. Ended up paying 25.8 million to bring the Colombian to the club. Maybe could have got him a little bit cheaper, but I think the way the negotiations went, it ended up being a fair deal. So really happy with the signing. Just 21 years of age. Going to work on that stamina, but I do really like the look of him on that right hand side, cutting in on the left foot. But that is going to do it for transfer deadline day. Quite a quiet one. And the biggest deal, Dusan Vlahovic has left Juve to join Atalanta for 46.4 million. Strange deal there. Lucas Torreira is back in London as he joins West Ham, and Alex Meret also heading to the Premier League to join Brighton and Hove Albion. But we'll sim through the final hour and we should see our next batch of scouting before we head into our next game. Where from Spain, we've got a whole host of fantastic young Spanish strikers. I think what I'm going to do is just keep the scouting on all of these guys for now until we get a better picture of their potentials, because there's too many to pick from, so we'll keep the scouting on all of them. But unfortunately, this is the risk of keeping the scouting on players. Roma have picked up this young Moroccan Anwar Hachini, but I'm going to give a scholarship to Anwar Hassan and we'll keep the scouting on these three until we get a better understanding of their potentials. Yeah, from Portugal, unfortunately, these lads at the top all seem like they've had potential downgrades, which is why I say you want to keep the scouting for as long as possible. But this lad, Fabio Moreira, we will keep the scouting on him. Looks pretty decent at 16 years of age. But for these four, they are all going to be released. Yeah, I've said it before and I'll say it again. We are only looking for the absolute creme de la creme. And to be fair, we've got some fantastic young players in the academy, but I think this lad Jose Luis Segura, with that potential downgrade at 14 years of age, I'm going to release him as we've got so many good young Spanish attackers in that scouting report. So yeah, quick look at the academy. I still think Fatih Naji is my favourite. Whether we'll ever see him reach that full potential, I'm not too sure. But yeah, we've had a pretty busy start to the episode with the transfer window closing. Just 2 games played, so we're going to crack on with some more fixtures as we head into the second half of the season. Matchday 22 here, travelling away to Getafe, looking to keep our winning streak going. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, now that we're through the winter transfer window, we're over halfway through the season. Of course, we're already out the Copa del Rey. We've got no European football, so I want to really keep the pace of this save up, and we should hopefully be through this first season in the next couple of episodes. I think after this it will probably be 2 more to close out with, as Carmona lets fly. What a strike, and opens the scoring. So we've got to keep up the pace, and hopefully we can keep up this form as well, because Sevilla are absolutely flying. Well, not a very good game, but there is the whistle, and we managed to grind out the victory. Just a single goal to nil. Carmona with, I think, his first goal of the season, and what a rocket as well. And all season long I've been kind of talking down the chances of a title push, but getting into the second half of the season and we're keeping pace with the front three. I don't think we're quite at the level yet to go all season long with these guys, but honestly, man, don't write us out. We're on a fantastic run of form. No European football, out of the cup. Let's just crack straight on, man. I'm loving this. Let's dive into our next game. It is one of those big clashes against the top 3. Barcelona at home as they come to take us on in Seville. It was a narrow 1-0 victory in the reverse fixture in a game that we defended really well, and it took Barcelona 75 minutes to break us down. Let's be a little bit braver. Let's see if we can get anything out of this. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, this Barcelona team is absolutely stacked, man. Almost straight from kickoff. We know, of course, they've won the domestic double in Spain in real life, and it's been a fantastic season. Just fell short in the Champions League in that cracking semi-final against Inter Milan. But in the save, this will kind of open up the gap if they get a win here. We're still quite a few points off they, Atletico and Real Madrid, and as I say, I don't think we're quite at the level of the big 3 just yet, and it's going to take us a few years to get there. But if we finish in 4th this year, I think that is a successful campaign for us. Olmo down the left away from Jibril Sao, played inside. What a finish, what a finish from the goal machine that is Robert Lewandowski. I thought I'd done enough to hold him up with Loic Bardet, but he takes the strike on early, deceives Nyland, and Barcelona just showing their quality here. Brilliant from Olmo down the left, and the finish from Lewandowski is fantastic. Yeah, just as we get our first real chance of the contest, Barcelona come right down the other end and hit us with that sucker punch for 2-0, and this could be 3. Peg back for Olmo, game. Before we even reach the half, Barcelona wrap it up with a third. Lewandowski looking for a fourth. Lewandowski, that is fantastic. Well, there is the whistle here in Seville, and thankfully we did manage to stem the flow after that fourth, but the damage was already done by Barcelona. A real showing of their class and saying to us that we are not quite ready to be in a title race just yet. And that defeat probably has ruled us out of any title race. I think that means the gap is now extended to 8 or 9 to Real Madrid at the top. And yeah, the top 3 running away with things at the top of La Liga as expected. But we've still got a job to do to qualify for Europe for next season. So a much winnable game up next as we travel to bottom of the league, Rayo Vallecano. Vamos, Sevilla. Yeah, of course, we'll be earmarking a return to winning ways here. And against bottom of the league, Valladolid, who have had a poor season, we should be able to do so. What a run by Romero. And a good save to deny him early on, but I think that is a sign of things to come in this game, as we should be putting Valladolid under some pretty immense pressure. As Balde looks for his second goal of the season and fires off target. Strong start from Sevilla, but unable to find that opening goal just yet. Corner for Sevilla here. We've been frustrated in this first half as Piqué finds Yasser Asprilla. And again, it's a good save by the Valladolid keeper. And that's going to do it for the first half, where we've been frustrated by the hosts, as I say. Still deadlocked at 0-0. And we need to find the breakthrough in the second 45 if we are to get back to winning ways. Well, just under 15 to play, and still we remain deadlocked at 0-0 here. Such a frustrating game. As Ajuke finds Piqué. Can he be the hero? No, he's denied once again by the Valladolid keeper. We've not been good enough today. He's made a couple of good saves, but we've not tested him enough. And as that will drop for Kike. Good strength by the central defender. Around the corner for Sanchez. Off the bench, Sanchez into the middle! And Pedrosa wins it with his second goal of the episode. Third goal of the season. It's fullback to fullback as Sanchez off the bench, celebrating that contract extension with an assist. And yep, that is going to do it. And it's Pedrosa popping up with a really, really important goal here. Would have been such a disappointing result with Valladolid so far adrift at the bottom of the table. But we do manage to find the late goal and claim the victory here to keep us in pole position for that fourth and final Champions League spot. So we'll jump into our next game again, just keeping the games flowing, heading back home to the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan to take on Mallorca, looking to get another victory here. Vamos, Sevilla. Well, we've still got Champions League qualification for next season firmly in our own hands. I think the gap at the moment is 6 points to Villarreal below us, as that's beautifully worked. And Aymar should probably have found the back of the net. Good save by the Mallorca keeper. And we've still got to play, of course, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. We have played Barcelona twice now, but some tough games to come as Marcao lets fly and is also denied. So yeah, still some tough games to come, but it is in our own hands if we want to be in Europe's elite for next season. As Piqué floats that into the middle and it's found its way in. I think it's going to go down as an own goal. Pedrosa runs off to celebrate, but I don't think he's going to get it. It is a great little run of form for the fullback, but I do think that will go down as an own goal, despite his header, I think, being on target. Yeah, that did unfortunately go down as an own goal, but Pedrosa getting in all the right positions at the moment. And here he is again, driving on. Pedrosa denied by the keeper. He has been in fantastic form. Sanchez into a Gume, and now Yasser Asprilla. Nicely worked, and Aymar's made a lovely little run. Finds Piqué. He'd love a goal, and he gets it as well. I said the goals have dried up at the top end of the pitch, but this man has been our top scorer and our player of the season, back in on the act as Sevilla double their lead, and that should be the points in the bag. Yep, that is going to do it, and a big victory for Sevilla as we bounce back after that defeat to Barcelona with back-to-back victories. Piqué back on the score sheet as well. and travelling to Rayo Vallecano in our next game. Currently sat in mid-table, so another fixture that we should be targeting all 3 points as we look to steer clear of Villarreal and Athletic Bilbao behind us and hold on to 4th spot. Vallecano away from home. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, I really love playing at this ground. You'll see the stand behind me, or behind our goal, is not actually a stand with seating. It is just a brick wall. It's like a mural, and it's absolutely class, man. Such a unique feature, and it makes using Vallecano a great team in career mode. I really need a goal with Isaac, and he gets it as well. Dangerous pass. Pedrosa thankfully wins the header. The man of the moment, Pedrosa. And Ajuke plays the 1-2 with Romero. Can he get away? Ajuke, lovely little step inside. Should be 2. Ajuke, what a save, man. And how have we not wrapped this game up? That was a lovely move, and I can't believe we didn't finish it off. Huertas on the charge, still looking for that second goal. PK's ahead of him, slides it through, and PK in behind. Can he finish from the angle? It's off the woodwork. How is this game still 1-0? Well, I don't think it's going to matter, as we should see the game out. But honestly, man, how did we not score more than 1 in that game? Beats me. But it is another grind out 1-0 victory for Sevilla, and I'll take that. And you know what? We'll close out with 2 big games in the quest for Champions League football. Real Sociedad, who have had a pretty tricky campaign, sat towards the bottom of the table, but we know they've got a fantastic squad. And then Athletic Bilbao at home, one of the 2 teams chasing us down for that Champions League spot. So 2 massive games to close out. Sociedad away coming up first. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, tough place to come, this, the Real Arena, but Sociedad having a poor season, sat down towards the bottom of the table, and they want to be where we are, fighting for Champions League football, but not had a good campaign, as that's lovely work and into Aymar, who bends it into the back of the net. Perfect start here. Linton, former Magpie. Wilhelmsen, oh, beautifully worked. Kubo in behind. We did well to hold him up. Ball through to Joel Linton. Massive double save by Nyland, and hoofed into touch by Sevilla. That's a big save by our number 1. Ajuke slides it forward for PK. Aymar's with him. It's a beautifully weighted pass, and Aymar bends home his second. A lovely finish once again by Aymar Aroz. Ajuke. Oh, what a pass. Aymar in for the hat-trick. Lovely finish again. His finishing has just been absolutely on point today. Gets the 3rd goal, the hat-trick for Aymar, and the 3 points in the bag for Sevilla. Definitely no way Sociedad come back from this. Yep, there's the whistle all over here at the Real Arena. Really disappointing from Real Sociedad. Was expecting a much tougher game. But what a performance from Aymar Oroz, by far the standout today, and it's a fantastic hat-trick from the young Spaniard to secure the points. And it's been quite a long episode, but we'll close out with this one. Returning back home to take on Athletic Bilbao in match day 28. They knocked us out of the Copa del Rey in the last 32. And we drew 1-1 there in the league as well. Currently 9 points clear of them in La Liga, so a win here could see us move 1 step closer to Champions League qualification for next year. Vamos Sevilla. Yeah, huge clash here in matchday 28, and if we can get a win here, we will move 9 points clear of both Bilbao and Villarreal, who are our 2 nearest contestants for Champions League qualification, as Jibril Sow unleashes one onto the woodwork. Berenguer down the left. Swings across in. It's not bad. Oh, it's brilliantly attacked in the middle. And it's a fantastic stop by Nyland, who gets down to deny. I think it was Sonse flying in on the 6-yard box. And now PK. Nicely done. Ajuke, was he onside? Yes, he is. Ajuke, oh, big save by Marcin, and that really should have been 1-0 down the other end now. Cracking game this, and chances at either end. as Berenguer away from Gudel, and Nyland denies him again. What a game. Well, off and underway in the second period. Been a cracking game here. The Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Lovely ball. Oh my goodness. And Gurazeta fires it wide. This has been a cracking game. Well, 10 to play here. Still deadlocked at 0-0. Second half's been a bit quieter. But are we to have a winner? Sonse lets fly. And Nyland denies him. Pretty comfortable save for Nyland, and one that I'd expect him to make, but still had to get across his goal and palm it away. And with 8 minutes left, are we to have a winner? Inaki in the middle, headed clear, and now there could be a chance on the break as Piqué waits for the run of Vargas, and Vargas down the left, Vargas in behind, he's got those fresh legs, Vargas goes all the way to win it with his first goal of the season. Ruben Vargas, the Swiss wide man, off the bench, had those fresh legs. And a big save by Nyland down one end as he celebrates with the home fans. Sevilla moving 9 points clear of Bilbao and Villarreal in the hunt for Champions League football. And guys, that is where we're going to end it for today. A massive, massive win at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan, and loads of progress made today. Just 10 games left in La Liga, and the majority of those will come in the next episode. And then we'll have one final episode to close out the season. We've absolutely flown through Series 1, which has been, or Season 1, sorry, which has been made easier with no European football. So, guys, I'll catch you in the next episode very soon. I hope you have enjoyed. Take care and peace.